This is my fifth time trying to record this part of the video. It's gone wrong like every time. I'm about fed up with it, but I'm gonna give it one more go. I have this part of the I have the game muted here because I just want to talk about the level for a while. Normally I don't do this when I'm gonna show my attempts at this level. Yeah. It takes me like 15 fiscal periods to learn memory levels if I don't use a video, but that's not the only reason I have so many attempts. So back when I beat Have a Drink in June of 2022, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I have a new hardest. At the time, I was in the Insane Demon List Discord server, and they have a weekly Insane Demon. So I'm like, okay, I'll try one of them out. So I waited for the next Insane Demon of the week. It was a level called Daily Lunch Special. The level got placed, like, soon after it became Demon of the Week, at number 4. Have a Drink, for reference, is number 28. At the time, that is. And I'm like, I don't want a new hardest right after beating Have a Drink. I'm not going to do that. So I didn't do it. So then I waited for the next Insane Demon of the Week. It's a level called In Canon by Cordio. It doesn't get placed immediately, so I go to check out the level, and I'm like, okay, I like this. It's a memory and timing level. I can do it. It's pretty fun. I like this. And so at the time, I was on my laptop, which had 144 hertz, and I got up to 70%. Pretty good progress. Then the level gets placed on the Insane Demon list at number 14. I still don't want a new hardest after beating Have a Drink so soon, so I drop the level. For 3 years. Before I dropped the level, I had about 6,500 attempts. Yeah. It takes me forever to learn memory levels if I don't use a video. I already said it, but like I need to emphasize it. I'm not good at learning memory levels, and it takes me a while. And this level's also hard. It's hard. It's hard. In fact, so hard, I'm actually going to go through like a playback of my successful attempt at the level to show you how hard it is by just pointing out a bunch of choke points in the level. I do like the level, don't get me wrong. I sound annoyed probably because I've been recording this like 5 times, but I do want to show off parts of this level that I thought were interesting for various reasons. Okay, let me change my OBS scene so you can actually watch the video. This is where like every single one of my recordings have failed. But anyway, here's In Canon by Cordia. Now, this gravity ball part at the beginning. This is the hardest click of the level. You have to click this perfectly to where you don't click too early, hit this spike, and you don't click too late to where you hit this fuzz. This is like harder than Acheron's first click. It's ridiculous. This first click is also a good reason as to why you get so many attempts on this level. Like, you grind attempts here. It's ridiculous. So here I am dealing with the first click of the level, and then I finally get past it. You just have to ram your head against the wall at this part until you get past it, and then you'll get far into the level. Far, in quotes, but anyway. This level's also got a few choose your own adventure elements, at least in this gravity ball, because there's multiple ways to do it. You can see here that I change gravity here, hit the bottom, and then go back up here, hit the blue orb and the blue portal to end up on this platform. What you can also do is hit this blue orb late to end up on this platform, change gravity again to go into the blue portal, then hit the gravity orb to go back onto this ledge. I went with hitting the bottom and then hitting the blue orb. I don't think it's easier, it's just how I prefer doing the level. And then the rest of the gravity ball, it's mostly pretty consistent. It takes a long time to learn and get good with. It's not easy, but it gets pretty consistent for the most part. There's also a choose your own adventure part here. What I do is I hit this blue orb. You can also skip this blue orb. So I hit the blue orb, hit the ceiling here, change gravity, blue orb, ceiling, and then I end up on this ledge here. Please pardon the fifth dimension ripples. I don't know why this is happening. VLC is sometimes a usable interface. But what you can also do is skip these orbs entirely, change gravity on the floor, hit the blue orb, end up on the floor, and then what will happen is you change gravity here, you go through this blue portal, and then you just end up on this platform. What I do here is that I change gravity on this top platform, and I end up on the same platform regardless. This is pretty consistent. You just hit a bunch of orbs. And then these 3 clicks here are some of the hardest in the level for some reason. I never got consistent. It's this yellow orb, then a green orb, and then you're going to switch gravity into a portal. The setup in here just sometimes works. And sometimes you're going to hit this spike. And by sometimes, I mean a lot of times. It's ridiculous. And then here, I think I just did this part harder than it should have been. What I do here is, this timing here is ridiculous, might I add. You have to hit the bottom and change gravity nearly immediately. You can't buffer, because you're going to hit this, and then sometimes you just hit this orb anyway, and the input doesn't go through and you die. Now, what I do here is that... Right. What I'll do here is that I go through this blue portal, hit the ground. What you can also do is hit the blue orb, and then change gravity to hit the ground. If you don't hit the blue orb, then you're going to hit this patch of grass sometimes. And if you do hit it, you're less likely to hit the grass, but I just prefer doing it that way. It might be harder, but it's how I like doing it. Then this UFO part here, what are we doing? This UFO part here is the easiest part of the level. Far and wide. Mostly everything here is extremely fun. I found this to be the most fun part of the level, and it's pretty consistent, apart from these clicks here. You're going to be clicking the button in between these 2 yellow orbs, and then that sets you up for this jump here. Now, most of the time, you're going to end up somewhere above these 2 big spikes. Then you're going to have to hit the button, like, right before you die. Like, I'm, like, frames away from dying here, but I still have to wait to click, so that if I click too early, I'm going to hit this blue portal. You want to be as far right as possible on this platform so that you're above this small spike, which gives you more time to click the button without fear of hitting the green portal. And then from here, this part just is fun. It's easy compared to the rest of the level. It's awesome. I love this part of the level. And then this ship part in the 6th dimension. The transition here is, I think, one of the 2 hardest clicks of the part. You have to either hold and hit the ceiling here, or you do what I do and you just coast above a little bit. What you want to avoid is hitting this platform here, because if you hit it, congratulations, you're dead, because you're going to crash into this platform. So just avoid this block. And then you're going to hit the top here, and then a lot of this is just execute the inputs. You just hold here for like 2 seconds. It's really cool. Then the next hard part is this part. You're going to fall into this cubby. What you want to do is straight fly through this gap. You, by no circumstances at all, want to hit this yellow portal, because you will die if you do. You can probably survive if you hit it. I just never could. And it's like a death sentence if you hit it. It's you just die. So what I do is that I swoop down lower to make sure I avoid this portal by all costs, and then swoop up high to avoid this big spike. You want to go into this yellow portal, hit the yellow orb, and then you pretty much clear the part. This wave part I found to be pretty consistent. These arrows tell you the way to go. I don't know who hired these arrows that point you in the right direction, but I hope they get a raise. And then most of this wave part is execute the correct inputs. There are timings, of course, but there's not a lot of places you have to click. It's just execute the inputs. And this part also has a bunch of those clicks where you enter a gravity portal and then click immediately to negate the gravity portal. Like that. Like that. Has a lot of those clicks. I think a lot of them are avoidable, but I find them very consistent, so I went with them. I think the hardest part of the wave here is this part here, because you have to do some actual wave gameplay. What you have to do is you get up here and you're going to follow these background structures. You swoop down pretty low, pretty high. You don't swoop down that low. You go back up here. Then you're going to release up here and then keep following the background structures. You're going to do 2 very big swoops here to end up going up here where the arrow is pointing, and then you're past most of the hard part of the wave. Now, this ship part is the hardest part of the level. Not even close. This part's ridiculous. There are like 10 clicks of despair and agony, including the first click. What you want to do is hit the bottom, either that or swoop, like close to the top here. If you can do either, that's fine. But the hold into this gap here is ridiculous. One of the hardest clicks of the entire part, and that's saying something considering how many hard clicks this part has. Because if you don't give it enough boost, you're going to hit this guy. If you give it too much boost, which you're going to do like 99 times out of 99, you're going to hit this guy. I hate him. He's wanted for murder in 15 states. Once you get past the click of despair and doom, you have it pretty good for a bit. You're going to hit these 3 orbs, and they sync the song. It's bliss. It's awesome. I love it. This yellow orb is a yellow orb of despair and doom. Because you have to fit through this gap. And 99 times out of 99, you're going to hit this spike. I hate him. He's wanted for murder in 13 states. So then you get past that, hold through here, click these 2 black orbs. Not the easiest black orbs to hit, but not the hardest either. This is a click of despair and doom. Because these guys here love to kill you. They're not wanted for murder, they just like doing it for fun. But yeah, these guys are going to kill you a lot. Because you're going to want to swoop after hitting this portal. You're like going downwards, and you're going to want to swoop upwards to go into this gap and hit the ceiling. A point of view, I just ate 15 Flintstone gummies. And then, this blue orb here is a blue orb of despair and agony. Because once you hit it, you need to hold, and the level will try its best to guide you to the ceiling, like over here somewhere. Sometimes you just die. I can't tell you how to avoid just dying here. I don't really know how either. I just click it and it works most of the time. And we're still not done. This yellow orb is a yellow orb of despair and doom. This guy is wanted for murder in 17 states. Because you have to click this guy just right. If you don't click it for long enough, you're going to hit this. If you click it for too long, which you're going to do in 99 out of 99 cases, you're going to hit this spike. I hate this spike. This guy is awful. I hate him. Please, go away. Oh my god. Because you have to get through this gap. And with the swooping you're doing, this is ridiculous. This is hard. And we're still not done. This is a blue... This is a blue orb of despair and doom. You see this guy coming out of the ground to say hello? He's coming out of the ground to say goodbye, because he's going to kill you a lot. He's wanted in 16 states for murder. Because you gotta click this blue orb at just the right time, because you're upside down here. You have to click it to go right side up to fall down. Click it too early, you're hitting little guy. Click it too late, you're hitting this. And you're like, what? There's not a gap here. He moves up for you. He's a kind gentleman, but not kind enough because he still kills you a lot. Sorry. And then here, you're going to want to hold. It's another timing, but once you hold, you just hold until you become the gravity ball. You're going to hit this yellow portal, and then you're going to hit this gravity ball portal. And then this grab ball section, I just could not get consistent with it. There's a lot of hard timings here. Starting with this black orb, this is just hard timing. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is just a very hard timing. And then it just doesn't relent. There's so many hard timings here. This is hard. This green orb sometimes works. This timing is ridiculous. Let's see. This collection of portals is held together with thoughts and prayers. It works sometimes, it doesn't work enough. It's a timing to avoid this spike to hit this green orb and hope it works. And then, this time, what are we doing? What is this? Like, how do people beat this level? Once you get past the frame perfect, it's not a frame perfect, but it may as well be, you go through an auto part with a bunch of portals, like blah, 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 blah. You hit the button 4 times to the song here, pretty cool clicks. Then you click it one more time on the bottom with a little timing. And then you hit the green orb and buffer the ceiling, and hope to God it works. It works most of the time, but sometimes it just kills you for no reason. It just felt like it. And then finally, the choke point of the level that you might already know about. These 2 orbs. They're pretty easy. I never had that much of an issue with them. I never died to them in normal mode. I like them. And with that being said, I'm going to end the recording here. Just one more thing. I think the difficulty of this level might be a bit overrated. The fact this is the hardest Insane Demon in the game does not make sense to me. Like, I cannot fathom this. This is definitely an Insane Demon. I would not say this is an extreme at all. So I think it might be a little overrated. I don't think it's hardest insane of the game. That's wow. That's a lot. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.